Now it's live.
It came up and said you are live, and I'm asking it. How do you know I'm live and not dead?
Oh, well, you look dead. That's, I mean, I just got closed off. Oh, I got shut in here. I'm a shut in.
Oh, are you being too loud?
I don't know. I must be interrupting her Christmas movies.
Ugh.
I mean, somebody that can watch Christmas movies before Thanksgiving, excuse me, is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I think it should be illegal to decorate a tree and decorate your house before Thanksgiving. I think people should be fined.
I think they should be shot.
That's my local rant for tonight. Oh.
Anybody that has the gall to decorate before Christmas should be shot.
Well, before Christmas,
to decorate before Thanksgiving's over with.
Yeah, wait till after Thanksgiving. You want to decorate, do it till like today on Black Friday. Right, you don't have to go out and do all the shopping rush and get into all the fights. But anyway, we are here at a special unscheduled. I mean, I'm sorry, we had no plans. This was kind of like a last minute kind of a thing, because starting next Friday we are coming back live with a guest, and hopefully every Friday after that with a guest. So, because winter's upon us and we've got no place to go. Well, at least I don't. I hibernate. I ain't going out in the snow. It gets too cold. You ain't catching me anywheres. So, we're here to kind of give you a hint of who our first guest might be, and to talk about some cryptids. And let's see, have we been on live since we were at the Milwaukee Paranormal Conference?
I don't remember. You're the one.
I don't think we have. So that went pretty well. Hi, Ashley. That went pretty well.
Ashley's on, huh? How are you?
Anyway, so the Milwaukee Paranormal Conference, we got asked to be what kind of do our show live, be a guest speaker, kind of.
Last year we were not asked. We were
well, we were told. Okay,
we were going to be there.
Our friend,
and that we were going to do a show.
Our friend T. Krulos basically said that yes. So
right,
we were part of it, and I think it went very well. We got a lot of comments afterwards. We were talking about our Beast of Bray Road investigations. We had Mr. Lee Hampel with us, and people really enjoyed it. I got a lot of compliments afterwards while I was walking around and trying to stay busy instead of just sitting at the table, because we did have a table there too, and that went pretty well.
Yeah, didn't do too bad there. I mean, we weren't really expecting a lot, but we did all right.
Well, I think that's why, not expecting a lot makes things like that seem like they went pretty well. And I think it went better than I thought it was going to go anyways. I mean, considering that, they didn't realize that the same subject was going to be talked about twice, and, so, but I think we outshined the other subject, the other person.
Yeah.
Considering that one.
Look. I get it. The other person.
Well, that one was more fact-based. Ours.
The other person for us. I don't know. We kind of feel that the other person did us wrong in a way, but we're not trying to specifically go after that other
Well,
person. We're
they
just
did.
doing our thing.
From what I could see when I walked by a few times, it was mostly fact based. What was basically you could find on the internet or in a book. And ours was more our personal
Ours
investigation
is
based.
experience that we had.
Right. Our personal
What we were doing.
investigations from the trips that we made out there.
Yeah.
And I mean that as plural because we made like 3, 4, or 5 trips out there for different reasons. Mostly to investigate. One was a drive down the road itself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then to do it different times of day. You know, we covered our tracks on that one. We're not done with that one yet, but we're going to take a break from it for a while when things get warmer again because we've got a few other places we want to go back to. Plus, we've got a bucket list that we need to get back to. This COVID thing's finally lifted once and for all. We didn't get out much this year. Schedules were conflicted. Things happen. Shit happens. But I've got a couple investigations that we haven't released that will be released soon. I'm going to get to it as soon as I can. The one, I think I've got everything I need from the one. I just need to make the transcript and it'll be done soon. It's pretty much almost half put together right now. It just needs a little beginning piece. But that's going to be a lot less editing problems because we had so much from the Bray Road that we can definitely down the road, there'll be a part 2 to Bray Road. We still got a lot of leftover footage that's not even included into that hunting for the beast. If we would have put all of that footage in there, that would have been something like 13 hours long and probably would have still been uploading today. But yeah, we're going to have to cut that down into a few segments. We'll probably end up back out there doing a few more experiments as equipment gets better, technology gets better, more evidence comes out our way that we hear stories, who knows? We keep our ears peeled.
I do want to get back out there and do an overnight again. That would be fun.
I mean,
but try to do a true overnight.
I did kind of have a couple other things go when I was kind of passing the footage off to Lee so that he could give us the thumbs up. I did kind of do a little bit of the compass test that we talked about, but I didn't get anything. But I also didn't walk very far out into the property either.
Well, yeah, because you didn't go out and through the property itself. I'm thinking what needs to be done whenever we do the compass test is to have at least 2 of us out there walking different directions,
kind of like a grid pattern.
Right, doing grid patterns in the field, but we also need to make sure we have a camera on if we can have a camera to where it's pointed on the compass and that way we can record the compass at all times.
Well, that's how you.
And then we can go through our footage of it, and we can figure out if anything happened, any weirdness happened with the compass at that point, at that particular point.
Maybe we have to use the body camera and put it in a point where you make sure that it's pointed at the body camera and at a point where you can see it or carry 2.
Well, but that's a good way of doing the compass test.
Right.
Kind of like you said, a grid pattern, so we can actually do. We can have one person start at one corner and the other person start at the other corner. One walks like north and south on the property, and the other walks east and west. And then when you're done, you're at the opposite corners pretty much, and then you take.
Well, before we go back, then there's the other things, because we learn as we go. About the like equipment. Like I want to get the bigger setup with getting that attachment for like a tablet, and getting the handle and the attachment for the tablet, so that we can have a tablet size screen for a thermal.
That we can actually record video with it instead of just taking pictures. Yeah, I like our thermal cameras that we have. I do like them. I like the way they have the blending part in them, where you can actually blend the standard picture with
for them not being the actual expensive ones that everybody uses that you see on TV,
video and all that stuff.
The FLIRs,
Right.
I mean, they got FLIRs that are just like this one too. That'll only take a snapshot of a picture. A picture.
Yeah, I know.
But these are just as good. I mean, for a generic model,
well, that's the thing.
The quality of the picture when I'm looking at the screen, even though it's just a little tiny screen, but some of those cheap FLIRs are about the same. I found that it had a very good quality picture.
Well, yeah, it's got a decent picture to it. I like the picture it has.
But like you, I wish they would have been the ones that took video, but those are on the higher end of the price range, though, too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I want that setup. I like the idea of where you got that setup because of the tablet and the bigger, wider, that was like a 10-inch screen that he had.
Yeah.
For that. And it really captured a lot when we were focused on that bipedal figure in the cornfield before it started following you. Because we swear it followed you. The audio proves it.
Well, you and Dale were standing there. You can hear you clearly on the audio saying you think you lost track of it, and that you guys think it may have followed me down through the cornfield.
Yeah, because you were already halfway down.
And I was already down there, and I actually, on my way walking, I was hearing what sounded like someone or something in the cornfield following me.
Right, and you got that audio on something.
And then I'm talking to myself pretty much, but knowing that it's going to be recorded on the video and audio that I had going, and I'm walking along, and all of a sudden, I literally it got a little louder that I could hear it, and I'm like, so I started saying, hey, stop cowering, stop, just come out here, talk to me, I want to talk to you. Thing.
No.
Come see me, come talk to me. So,
like I said, that night investigation, and that whole thing really made me think, because that whole night, it wasn't just you and I that saw this and experienced what happened that night. And it wasn't just that, but it's almost like at that end when we were packing up and leaving, I felt like that fog was coming in to chase us the hell out of there.
That was one of the weirdest damn things I've witnessed and experienced.
Because it was because that chased us out of there.
I've never seen, coming from California, okay, I know how bad fog can get, and I know how quick it can move in. But that was just really freaking bizarre.
Right, and I've seen stuff
all night. No, that's the weird thing. All night we were there. We had no haze showing. The sky looked clear.
It was beautiful.
It was a beautiful night. The moon was shining good, and then all of a sudden, just out of freaking nowhere, here comes this fog, and it didn't just come in from the cornfield itself. It came in from the pasture too.
Yeah, and it
The
was
whole
thick,
it just swarmed, just
and it was thick as
straight
hell.
in on us, and it got thick. It got very thick. It got thick enough
Fast,
I couldn't see you guys standing where you were from the barn.
right? We had
That's
our,
how thick it got, and I had my flashlight, and I was shining my flashlight. Could not see you.
but then you take into consideration, and this is the one thing I was thinking about, and I think I said it during our little conference bit there. I think I mentioned something about that. When that happened and that kicked us out of there, if you actually look at the time that thing kicked us out of there, it wasn't too long before the sun was going to start rising.
Yeah.
And that's usually when a lot of his trail cameras picked up a lot of those oddities.
Yeah, right around that time is when a lot of the weirdness of his trail cameras.
Because if you looked at a lot of those pictures, they were very early in the morning. A lot of them. So I think it was trying to get us.
He did have stuff in later too.
It was almost like it didn't want any live witnesses to the property. Seeing some of the stuff that was going to happen that morning. I mean, because it rolled in and rolled out so fast. I mean, it couldn't have taken us more than 5 minutes to pack up and put that stuff in the vehicle and walk back there with our flashlights to look to see if we left anything on the ground. Because when we went back with those flashlights to look if there was anything on the ground, that fog was gone. Just as fast as it rolled in. Like it was never there. No trace, just gone.
Yeah. I know, it was just really freaking weird.
So, but this next time when the weather gets warmer, we're going. Well, let's get back to today. Next week, like we said, we're gonna have our first guest of this winter season. We're gonna go back to having guests every Friday, hopefully, if all goes well. Following when the weather gets warmer, though, we're going to try to get out more. So the show will probably go on a little bit of a hiatus. We might come on now and then at a moment's notice, like tonight, and just give you an update of where we've been investigating, what we found, what we saw, where we've been, where we're going next.
I'm thinking about walking up the street here one of these nights.
There's a few changes coming.
Got a big cemetery right across the street, about a block and a half up.
We're going to go visit a few old places that we've been talking about that we've been to before. We're going to try to visit some places that we haven't been yet that we want to go to. One, we're going to try to catch up with hopefully if the weather permits, Mark's schedule permits, and everybody else's schedules permits, because we don't want to put the other person out of problem, but we want to go out and investigate Lake Pepin. And for those that don't know about Lake Pepin, it's a lake that sits on the Mississippi River.
Well, the thing is with that, if you can get it scheduled, and if it's something that I can't get off to do, then you can in time that.
Well, either way, we're going to try to get it done.
I know.
I'm going to try to schedule it for a weekend so that you can go.
Well, yeah, weekends would be great.
But anyway, I want to go out there. We're going to go out there. We might have to pay for the boat tour. I don't know. I'll have to talk more as it gets closer to that time. I'll wait until March or so. And then we're going to go looking for Pepe, which is Wisconsin's very own Loch Ness Monster, supposedly. Now, we've investigated a few other cryptids. Let's see, very few so far. We've went and looked for, what was it? We tried to look for Bozo, but Bozo was never found. But I believe what people are seeing in Bozo is just an oversized lake sturgeon, maybe. Out there in Lake Mendota, we were out by Picnic Point area looking for him at one point when we got close to the lake, but we weren't there for very long either to scope it out. So, but I still think that one might be a misidentification, because of how those things look and how big they can get. And Mendota is the biggest lake in the Madison area, or the deepest. So,
yeah.
But Pepe and Pepin, now that's been said to be something totally different.
Well,
And that can be possible because that's all connected to the Mississippi, which drains out into the ocean.
Yeah, but it also depends on,
And then considering that Lake Pepin's also the deepest of the 4 lakes in that area on the Mississippi River, there could be some underwater caves that, who knows? Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Let's see, where else? Where else is on our list? What else is on our list? We were talking about this earlier.
I don't know.
Lake Mills. Asylum.
Oh, you want to go back out to Asylum, yeah.
That whole story still bugs the hell out of me. But, people have to be the way they are. Take something that doesn't belong to them, put it in a fucking museum, and now it sits in storage.
Right.
I think I'd be
a little bit about.
Well, some of these stories, that have that kind of Native American tie-in, I tend to believe it more for some reason. I think it's because I've been so fascinated with a lot of the Native American history all my life, even though I'm not one bit Native American as far as I know. But
I don't think I have. According to my mother, we somewhere along the family line of her side are related to Pocahontas, and I don't believe it. I actually don't.
Hey, you look like Pocahontas. I'm just kidding. You look more like that other guy.
It's just my mom always would come up with some just bizarre off the wall. Yeah.
Good whoppers, kind of like my dad. He was a bullshit artist. He used to tell stories about a murderer that never got caught, that was always loose and killing people, that would drive through the arboretum and their car would get stalled or something. And
yeah, he'd always give you that.
Or if they went parking, but technically,
the urban legend to you guys.
Technically the first murder or the first killing in that area on that trail didn't happen until like within the last 20 years. I remember the story that it came up, but that's when something really happened that tied in with the arboretum. But he'd do that and he'd roll down the car windows as we're driving through there because it was kind of like a shortcut to go back home from Grandma's house out on Speedway.
That's when you could actually drive through the arboretum.
Right. It was for him. It was like a shortcut to go from there to the like Park Street area over there because we lived up in the trailer court up on Badger Road. So you go from that to, so he cut through there at night on the way home, and he'd roll down the windows. And the only one that got spooked was my stepmother. Because she believed him, but she wasn't from Madison either. She was from Oregon and Stoughton area, But yeah, he was a bullshit artist. He'd feed you full of shit like that about the about the the arboretum and when we started all of this, when you and I started all of this, before we went out and decided to do Sanatorium Hill as our first investigation, I looked into that further myself about the arboretum and found out what a liar Dad turned out to be. Nothing ever really happened there.
Right.
So that was like a bullshit thing. But I never knew about, and I played Ghost in the Graveyard, that child's game or whatever, Ghost in the Graveyard.
Yeah.
In Forest Hill Cemetery when I was a kid with all my cousins. We'd go across the street at night after dark, especially if we were spending the night at Grandma's house, a lot of us, and play Ghost in the Graveyard over there. I never had an idea that place had any kind of paranormal activity going on. I mean, I understand the possibilities of it now because it's got some of the oldest plots in there dating back to the Civil War days, and World War I, World War II.
Yeah. Well, we already went out there to that cemetery.
Hi, Joan. How you doing? Yeah, that was a good experiment, where we thought we saw something and then we went back and realized that it was just the sun and the trees and the shadows playing games with us, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, I wasn't. I mean, I thought I'd possibly caught something. I thought it was cool, but I didn't want to say specifically that that's it, that I caught something, because I wanted to make sure. That's why I would debunk my own stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's why we tried. I mean, we went up there. I mean, we didn't intentionally. Hi, David. How you doing? By the way, I was going to contact you. Oh, after I saw one of your posts. But like, we went up and unintentionally kind of debunked somebody else's video,
Which we did
over at Sanatorium Hill.
Yep.
Because rule number one, we know the area. You know the area well enough, know your surroundings well enough, and unfortunately, the third time we went up there, you won't let me live down because I got spooked and I should have known better. Because
we got it on video. That's why I won't let you live it down.
Because of that fawn that was bedded right there, and I almost stepped on it.
Because of that deer.
That was funny. I mean, it was funny. It was. I mean, I literally thought I was going to have to go check my pants after that. And I should have known better. I mean, growing up right there by Sanatorium Hill, as much as I spent time at my Uncle Ralph's house, and sledding down that hill in the wintertime, I should have known better. The marsh isn't that far away. That one marsh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. No. Enjoying the peaceful country life. No. But yeah, we've had some fun times. We've got more to go if we can.
Yep. Want to try and get over. I would like to get over to Michigan, hook up with the
girls.
Yeah, with the women out of there and go check out.
We gotta have them back. Now that we're back in the guest mode, we gotta have Janet Ramsey and the crew back. That's who you're talking about.
I know who I'm talking about. I was gonna say her name, but you said the girls.
Well, same difference.
But yeah, Janet Ramsey and her crew. I'd like to.
They've been up to a lot of stuff lately since we last talked too.
You know.
Um,
Yeah, I'd like to go there, hook up with them, and actually get out there and check out
that insane asylum or whatever it was, that old hospital.
Yeah.
That they've been to many times.
It's an asylum, and they actually
Eloise.
That's what I said. Eloise, yes.
Yeah,
and
that's where we're gonna go.
You know,
that's on the list. Then there's.
All right. Excuse me.
I'm not sure what part of Michigan that is. Do you know what part of Michigan that was, Eloise? I can look it up. Because they're not too far from there.
I think that they said, I think Janet said they live almost like next door to it. They do fundraisers every year for them to keep the place open. And I sent them some of my jewelry to do in the fundraiser and help out with that.
Yeah, that was their Christmas thing.
Yeah. Which means they'll probably be doing it again this year. Maybe I'll send them some more stuff. And get some stuff together and send it to them so they can like auction it off or whatever to help raise some money for Eloise for the Eloise Asylum. But I think it's over near Detroit. In that area.
They've got escape rooms now there.
Really?
Yeah, I got some main website. I'm just trying to find the address right now. Westland, Michigan, David. They're on Michigan. It's on Michigan Avenue in Westland, Michigan. So they're not too far from there. So, because they said they'd give us a tour if we ever came out there or go with us. So that would be a crossover, another one.
That would definitely be a crossover. I'd enjoy it. There's no doubt.
Well, there's another one that we got to get. We got to somehow hook up with Dale. I got to try to arrange that and see if it's possible. Either that or we're going to find a way to go. But another one that's on my list is that Joliet prison.
Oh, yeah. That definitely would be a fun one. Yeah, Westland. It's a suburb. Westland is a suburb of Detroit. I told you it was close to Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of things. Oh, shit. Oh, I get out that way. I'm going to have to look you up. It's been a while. I'm going to have to look up David there. We get out to Michigan.
So he's about a half an hour away?
Yeah, from where he lives.
Port Huron?
Yeah. Oh, you live in Tennessee now? Oh, where I lived. Okay.
Oh, lived. Okay.
Yeah, that's a place I got to go to, too. That's a place on my list, too.
Yeah.
Scott County Jail. Got to go visit.
That's the one that Dr. Christy Sumner and Miranda Young actually bought, and now they have a thing going with it.
Oh, you can come meet me anytime.
Yeah, come on up here. And if they can't accommodate you, Dave, I got an extra bedroom I can put you in here.
It would be better at your place. This place is falling apart. But I don't live in Madison no more, though.
Nope, and I live in Waterloo.
Oh. I'm in Watertown, Wisconsin now. I don't know how much longer that'll be, but we're going to be looking for a house again in March. So we're probably going towards closer to Fort Atkinson.
Yeah, we moved out of Fort. Now you guys are going to move to Fort and put yourself further away.
Well, you know, shit happens. You know, you go. I'd like to actually. I wouldn't mind being more in Waterloo
I told you, Waterloo's a sweet little
because
town, man.
you're right there between Madison and everything
You're,
else. You're not
yeah,
that far
well,
from Madison and Sun Prairie and all that.
I'm about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from Sun Prairie, and about 35 minutes from where I work on the southeast side of Madison.
With your girl, as in your wife or your girlfriend or daughter. Last I knew, though, he was with Sandy. I think that was her name, Sandy. That was back at Aunt Barb's funeral. This is, you've heard me talk about my Aunt Ruthie, my mom's sister, Aunt Ruthie. That's her son.
Yeah, I've heard.
So not Sandy anymore.
What? What do you mean, soon to be wife? Have you been married before, David?
I don't know. Were you married to Sandy? I'm pretty sure I got the right name. Because I met her once at yes, he was married 2 times before.
You didn't learn after the first time?
Sometimes you don't. Hey, my dad was married 4. My dad was married.
I've been there. I've done that. I'm never doing it again.
My dad was married.
There's no ring
4.
there. There's no ring there. Ain't gonna ever get one that has any kind of significance of marriage back
Yeah, well,
home.
you got burned pretty badly on that one. I'll give you that. But my dad was married 4 times. He never learned.
Nope. I will never get married again. I've already been there and I already experienced it. I'm done. So I won't begrudge others. If they want to do it, they can do it.
I was married. I was married once before. Okay, that was a mistake. But this, yeah, I don't need to say it because I'm never getting married again because I ain't getting divorced. Tanya and I have like the perfect partnership. Well, Tanya and I have the perfect partnership. You know it. Stop being an asshole. No, that's good. That's always a good thing to have. The best girlfriend around. Hey, when Tanya and I got married, it was probably the best thing that ever happened for both of us. Since then, she's gone on to college, got her bachelor degree. You know, look what I'm doing. If it wasn't for her support and her telling us that we should have done something like this along with Lisa in the back seat, our show wouldn't be doing what it's doing.
Yeah, well, I kind of pushed you too. But we started out doing the wrong stuff. Well, I don't know if it was really the wrong stuff. We didn't stick to it long because of all the people we were missing.
We were probably one of the first podcasters, YouTubers that got a negative subscriber rating. I like saying that. I started doing that a while ago. I do it again because I warned people not to watch anything on YouTube prior to.
Well, I will say this. I will say this.
Offended.
I know that we are not the first to do the paranormal stuff, but when we were in lockdown with COVID, we've had a lot of,
thank God the StreamYard.
Lot of people tell us that they were inspired by us and
to do a show of their own.
did stuff. And there's a lot of people that have actually done put their own shows together because of how
They were
presented
inspired,
ourselves and how they were inspired by us.
and how we treat our guests.
Anytime we have a guest, we try to make it about them. Occasionally, Joe will go off or I'll go off, and we'll wind up, a little bit about us, but then I try to veer it back because it's supposed to be about the guest that we have on, not us.
And Sunday, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try real hard. I'm gonna try by Sunday. I want to make a new promotional graphic, since right now our logo is kind of more the white background than the black background.
Yeah.
I want to make a new one for this time around with it more being the white background. And Sunday, I will put up a new logo Sunday, new logo graphic Sunday. It's the promotional graphic. Most of you people that watch our show know that I put out a promotional graphic when we have a guest of who it will be. Well, I will do that this Sunday. I will do that this Sunday. I will tell you who we are having. But in the meantime, I will let you know that this person is probably the most well-known guest we've ever had. Okay.
He'll wind up being the most famous one we've ever gotten on the show.
I don't know how much of a hint I can give, but he's been on quite a few of the paranormal TV shows that you watch.
Yeah.
And I think I'll just leave it at that. Most people.
Well, we can say it this way, Joe. Joe, we can say it this way. He's a cryptozoologist.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's a good one. That's a good way to do it, because that's exactly what he is.
It's exactly what he is.
No, and we're going to have him here. He sent us a book. I got the book. I thanked him for it. He autographed it for us. So that was nice. He's also an author, by the way. That should have given it away, because we got his book. It's one of many. And we'll let you know where you can find him and who he is, because you can find all of his books on Amazon, just like anything else. But he's got plenty out there. So he's a very interesting guy. He's going to have a lot to say, I'm sure. And it's going to be a great show. So you're not going to want to miss next Friday's show, because it's going to be the return of our talk format of the show for the winter, before we go back out and investigating all the great places that we want to go to and share it with you. And in the meantime, I will try to get, let's see, we have Far Our School, and we have The Day the Music Died, which is the Buddy Holly crash site. And let's see, wasn't there another one in there somewhere that's missing?
Not sure.
I think there was another one in there that's missing. I mean, we got the Brave Road footage out there that we wanted to get out. That's called Hunting for the Beast. That's up on YouTube now. You can also see up on YouTube, in case you didn't go to the Milwaukee Paranormal Conference earlier this year. If you didn't see it, it's up there on YouTube. We were able to manage to go live from the conference, so you get to see how it streamed live. And now that we know that we can do that from some remote locations, we're going to try to do that more often in the future.
Yep, definitely.
Next year, possibly, we'll be part of the Milwaukee Paranormal Conference again next year. We will let you know. We'll probably, hopefully this time we'll get T on. He got too busy this year. I don't think we got him on before it this year. He got too busy. I think we ended up with Tom and Molly, or maybe did we get Tom, Molly, or Tom and ET all on at the same time this year. Either way, we'll be promoting it as it gets closer to it when it happens. And we'll let you know what we'll be doing. We don't even know yet. Last year we had a year's notice and we knew what we did or what we were going to do. And we had a rush to put it together at the last minute. So let's not try to repeat that this year. It wasn't fun. It was pretty stressful. But we got it done. We got it done. I got a lot of compliments from some of the people that saw it before it was released. You know, we got the thumbs up and then some from Lee Hampel. I mean, he basically said that it was real. He liked how real it was, you know. And hey, we just show, you know, what you see or what we see is what you get, you know. It's, we don't try to edit it for ratings or to get you think this we saw something that wasn't there, you know. So that's a good one there. But I don't think I thought there was another one that we did somewheres. I'll have to look. Are you sure I'm not missing one? Otherwise, it's just the two then. So I've got 2 past investigations that we haven't uploaded yet. And that would be
unless you haven't uploaded the one from Kingdom of Valley of the Kings.
That's it. I'm not sure where that footage is, though. I'll have to find it. That's it. That's the one I was trying to. I kind of thought there was something going on, and then it's like.
Well, that one I actually.
That was an interesting place.
It was, and when Dale was setting up inside the back of the trailer, and I was standing there with the owner and everything, we were talking. I know I seen a shadow. Like it was weird. It was like it walked up next to me and stood there for a second, and went over into the shed.
Well, when my daughter called me back, and I was sitting, you know, and I had to go out of the way because everybody was sitting around that one area talking, and I walked down into the area where the animals were with my cell phone, and I was talking to Deb. I was sitting there, and this fucking tiger was sitting there watching me like, man, if I just get out of this cage, you're lunch. You know?
That little tiger, she was being sweet. She wasn't being mean.
That thing looked like it was going to charge my ass right for the cage, man.
The little tiger that was next to the little
right on the corner. You came up from where they were all chatting. You come up to that one path, and it was right on the corner because I just stood there right on the corner. Are
you sure you're not talking about the lioness?
Whatever. It was a feline, a big one. You know. But I think the most fun though I had there was when I walked down to the point where the wolves were, and I got them suckers.
Like you.
Huh? Yeah, the tiger
did. Lioness did not like you.
The lion, yeah, that's the one. It was in that corner cage. That lion.
Yeah, she would sit there. She was growling at you, and she would constantly watch you.
But those wolves, man, I had those suckers howling. I had those suckers going off. It was so cool to watch that. You know. Now see, those were the only thing that I wouldn't have been afraid of. You know, I'm not afraid of the wolves, but that grizzly bear, I think I would have been afraid of him too. You know, for probably not being very old, he looked pretty big. Still, and I know they got much bigger than that yet. Because that was just that was kind of a cub or something. It wasn't a big one yet. But yeah, that was an interesting place. And I know I've got the footage somewhere. I hope I put it on my computer somewhere. My computer is more disorganized than my desk, if you believe that.
No, I don't believe that.
I've got folder after folder after folder after folder, and then you never know, there might be folders inside of folders inside of folders. And then you got yourself a little wormhole on my computer there. Trying to find the right folder. So, and somebody else I think we should have back.
Who's that?
I'll give you a hint. How do I do that again? Oh, yeah. It's been a while since I've done this because we've been off for so long.
Done what?
Oh, come on. Now it's going to take forever. You'll just have to wait. I don't know if you can still hear me. Huh?
He's dead. We can't have him.
No. Oh, see, on my screen, it's showing that it's still trying to load. It looks black. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Oh, I can hear you. But it's... Yep. You were delayed a little bit.
Huh. The little one down below shows it, but the one up here in the big screen
we can't have him because he's dead.
No.
You're talking about William Harder.
Right.
That's my niece's friend out of Cali there.
Yeah, he was a pretty interesting dude.
He was very interesting.
And it's too bad that...
Interesting and a little odd, but interesting nonetheless.
I can see why he's a little odd. I mean, a guy that goes around visiting all these different serial killers in prison.
Honestly, I'm not to say anything. I'm not trying to say anything bad about him, but just a tad bit odd because of his collections and stuff like that. But still, pretty good stand-up guy. I like the stuff he had to talk about.
Yeah, but if you were sitting there, and I gotta say, all right, in his defense, okay, and only on this case, in his defense, I'm going to say this: if I got a chance to meet and pick at Manson's mind like that, and he gave me some of his artwork or something like that, yeah, I think I'd want to keep it too and display it.
I'm not saying that that's a bad
but yeah, it is. Well, the one thing was kind of creepy because it was like
it's just a little odd. I having that kind of ambition about stuff like that, to me, I mean, my personal self, it felt a little odd, but he was still very informative and very passionate about what he.
You also got to remember, a lot of people didn't see that part. That was like the tour because we had the green room thing going. And
yeah, it was the tour after.
We didn't get to.
You didn't record it, did you?
No, because I didn't get permission to record the green room afterwards, and I think he asked us not to.
Well, the thing is, we would have. I don't know if you explained to him if we did record it, it would never get seen by anybody but us.
Well, at that time, we were putting it up as bonus footage, I think. I don't remember. But it's been a while. That was a while back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of things coming up, and I think people are going to have a really good time Friday. They're not going to want to miss Friday's show for sure. I mean, it's going to be a good one. It's probably going to be one of the best ones for the records. It's one I'm definitely going to look back on because this is better than, I got to say this is better than the one famous guest that I've been trying to get for a long, long time. And I'm not going to mention that person's name either, but I'm just saying this Friday is better than that.
Well, maybe after this Friday, if that particular person gets wind of it, maybe they'll want to come on our show.
Maybe. But all I'm saying is, you know, this is, for me, this is going to be better because I have watched this guy on a lot of the paranormal shows that I like to watch, because there are quite a few that I won't watch out there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because of they're all like fluff pieces in a way.
I'll come down and get it. We're almost done.
But when they got shows that basically keep it real,
Well, eat it then.
and they just talk to different eyewitnesses and they keep it real, and
You
they
want it,
show
if you're
you,
hungry, eat it. And then you can cook me one.
and then they show you that, okay, this is a
You can cook me one.
dramatization, you know, a reenactment of,
Drummond.
yeah,
Dra, 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 dra.
a reenactment basically of somebody's story, you know.
Yeah.
When they put that on there to let you know that, and it's like they're talking to eyewitnesses, and then they're, you know, talking to some of these
Dramatization.
well, some of the experts or some of the ones that actually study in one particular, you know, those are the good shows to watch. Plus, I also like Josh Gates. I get a kick out of watching some of the stuff that he goes and gets himself into, and some of the stuff that he explores, you know. But I still am upset about how he handled Bray Road. So, but then again, we don't know if that was him or the producers.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that was the producers.
Right. So,
But anyway.
So we're not going to get Sunday. I will try to have a new thing made, and we will release the name of our very special guest for next Friday, and we'll be on at 7 p.m. Central Time. And hopefully we'll have a little bit of a new look too. So hopefully we'll see what happens. So have a good weekend. Stay safe. Keep your eyes open, and remember, anything's possible. You know. And we are